I'm Sharon Hirsh. I'm the 13th president of Rosemont College. I was president from 2005 until 2020.
The Hirsh years were defined by two seismic changes: a landmark tuition decision and a major change to the makeup of the student body. After nearly 9 decades as a women's college, in 2009, Rosemont went co-ed. The men were now in class and in the dorms.
We spent a lot of time doing a strategic planning process. It was 15 months, so that part of it was difficult. But what happened is that we got information that we really had no future as a Catholic women's college.
There was careful consideration and meeting after meeting. Consultants were hired, and the results of survey after survey made it clear.
When we got to the point where we put them together, how many people would consider all the way to wanting to go to a Catholic women's college? It was under 1%. And they even ran it the other way, all women's Catholic college. It was under 1%.
But how would men on campus, as Rosemont students, really be received, especially by staff and alumni? Dr. Hirsh herself, a 1970 art history and studio art graduate of the all-women's Rosemont College, was hopeful.
First of all, it was strikingly instantaneous. There was a change in attitude, a change in behavior to some extent. Everybody commented, like after 1 week, doesn't it seem like we've always been co-ed? Which is just incredible to me, including someone who struggled mightily to be involved with that decision. And after only about 3 days, I saw this person and she said, "Isn't it like we always went co-ed?" And I was ready to I said, "Really?" But that's the effect that it had.
Taking Rosemont co-ed was a singular experience. Just 4 years after taking the helm as Rosemont's president at one of the saddest moments in the college's history. The well-loved higher education visionary, Dr. Anna Morey, Rosemont's 12th president, died in 2005. An aggressive illness had unexpectedly claimed Morey's life and her vision of a dynamic Rosemont. As a colleague and friend, Dr. Hirsh embraced President Morey's legacy of leadership and the contribution she made.
Pretty great contribution. She was sadly only here for about 4 years, but she did elevate fundraising. She was beloved by the students. She was always there at things and just gave kind of a spark to the whole campus community and campus life. I wanted very much to have a sense of continuance when I took over. I thought that was very important. I promised myself I wasn't going to make any huge changes for 1 year, and I didn't. It was very challenging to try to deal with all of the mourning that was going on with the campus community. And then we did a lot of things, including a beautiful memorial mass at which 1,000 people attended. And that was a very healing ceremony, and part of it was that everybody was there. Yeah.
President Hirsh found herself navigating the realities of keeping Rosemont College alive. Going co-ed was a first groundbreaking decision. Then came the challenge, making a Rosemont education financially accessible. 6 years after going co-ed, President Hirsh took another bold step.
I really wanted to have us look seriously at the tuition reduction because it was kind of a no-brainer for us, given who our students and our families were, and also given the fact that we were giving out a lot of necessary financial aid. And some of that came from the government, but a lot of it came from the college.
To make Rosemont affordable, tuition was reduced by 43% for the 2016-2017 academic year. Applications increased dramatically. Price was an incentive. However, with returning students projected to pay more, But now paying the reduced tuition, the college revenue would take an expected loss. What's a president to do? Ask for help.
I found a donor who was so interested in this whole thing that he offered to cover those costs, lost revenue, for the first 3 years.
Yes, a risky decision, but there was a lot to gain. Now, Rosemont was on a roll. The women's sports teams needed to make room for the guys in the gym and on the playing fields. With Title IX NCAA rules in play, equal treatment for men's sports became a priority. Sports became huge at Rosemont. It also added a fashion fun factor to the campus. Then the building began, an era when hard hats nearly outnumbered ball caps. New playing fields. The gym got a facelift. The library underwent renovation. A traditional campus auditorium was transformed into the state-of-the-art Rotwit Theater. Ultimately at center stage, a community center with the bookstore, cafeterias, large event spaces, and meeting rooms named for Dr. Sharon Hirsh. The Rosemont spirit took flight.
We had to come up with a mascot. We settled on the Raven. There was a lot more Rosemont swag, clothing, baseball cap. It was like you had to have one. We didn't have that when we were all women. We just didn't. We had a wonderful T-shirt that said Rosemont Football, and on the back it said still undefeated. I was very proud of the culture that we built among the students, the faculty, and the staff especially. That meant a lot to me. That we talk about ourselves as a community. Students tend to use the word family even more, but the fact that I saw on a regular basis people reacting to each other as real colleagues concerned about each other, and that made a big difference to me.
And President Hirsh made a difference for Rosemont.
Well, I'd like to take advantage of this interview just to offer a real toast to the college community, to the college itself, that is now going to be 100 years old. So to the Centennial, everyone, and thanks.